What's up, guys? So today we're here to talk to Cole, hear him share his story on what he'd like to accomplish with training. Cole has been training for about a year now in the weight room, and his goals are to build muscle. And so we're going to go through and look at what he's doing, on the energy outside of the equation, training, gym, everything he's doing there, and what he's doing on the energy inside, the nutrition side. We're going to start with his why, his goals, and then just work our way back from there. We're really going to get connected, what he gets out of it and what he needs to do to get there. So Cole, welcome. Thank you so much for coming, man. First thing that I want to go through is, what brought you to start training? What was it that really, made you want to do that?
I don't know. I think being on social media and I see it all the time and all my friends work out, I was just surrounded by it. So eventually, naturally, I was kind of drawn to it. I do it to, boost confidence and have some body positivity, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So it sounds like friends. So socially, right? With social media, friends were working out.
Mm-hmm.
You were drawn to it because of that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, it sounds like you wanted to gain some of that, gain some confidence from doing it. So gain some confidence. Let's write that there.
Okay.
Confidence. Gain some confidence. And you shared, what else did you share there?
I said body positivity.
Body positivity. That's right.
It's pretty similar to confidence in my opinion.
Yeah, it's good. It's what I find is it's good to write all of these things out that that come out and see what really, what sticks, what we actually really, really connect well with. There's a reason that I find that people say something, right? And it's because somehow that was in their mind as I kind of connect with that. So let's write it down and let's kind of see what sticks. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Social media, right? You saw on social media that a lot of people working out, you saw what that looked like. So when you see that on social media, what do you mean?
It's kind of big on TikTok and all the different Instagram, like Sam Sulek, for example.
There you go.
All the big bodybuilding influencers that, and they just it kind of builds and everyone else wants to do it. And then now it's a whole community.
There you go. Community.
And I was kind of part of it for a while. I mean, I didn't post anything, but.
So it sounds like a draw was also being a part of that community and that like Sam Sulek and other influencers like that, like doing stuff, working out, training and building their bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like also you kind of liked the way that looked.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
For sure.
Okay. So gaining muscle, it sounds like is liking the way that looked, and gaining muscle is really what you want to do with training.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Okay.
So let's write that. So this is our why, right? So then let's write this over here. Why? Oh my goodness. That's kind of a question mark. Okay. And then we'll write goals over here. So goals, when you're talking about Sam Sulek and some of his influencers, it's like, and friends, right? It's to gain muscle, right?
Yeah.
So we've obviously trained for a little bit, a little while, over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Within the first, so we did your first InBody, right? When you started, right? And then we had you train 3 days a week, and then you got the next InBody. So we did your next InBody in 16 weeks. Do you remember how much muscle you gained?
I think it was 4 pounds, 5 pounds of muscle.
It was almost near 5 pounds. I remember. I actually saw it the other day when I was scrolling through. I'm like, oh yeah.
I still have the sheet. I was going to compare them all when we do the next one.
It's going to be good, man. It's thick. So it was near 5 pounds. I think it was 4.6 pounds of muscle or 4.8. So it was almost 5, right? So it was almost 5, right? And so that's a really good number to be gaining in 6 weeks, like actual muscle tissue, right?
Yeah.
To gain muscle. So how did that feel when you were able to do that?
Felt great. I mean, it proved to me that what I was doing was actually working, and that it was worth that. It was worth it that I was doing it.
There you go. You hit it right in the head. It was worth it, right?
Yeah.
So what you did, the time, the effort, right? Going through that, putting yourself through that pain every day of training was worth gaining that muscle. Okay. Would you say your goal is still to gain muscle, to add muscle?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But
sounds.
I'm not sure how much more. I mean, I haven't thought much or put much thought into it, but yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like, gaining muscle, getting more muscle would be good.
Mm-hmm.
You're still enjoying that. As far as your training, so let's go over here. So we've got our why, right? Which is confidence, body positivity, be a part of the community, right?
Yeah.
This is what you kind of get out of it, right? This is what you really get out of it. That's your why. These are the goals you want to accomplish. Gain muscle before you gained 5 pounds from your training. I'm sure we're going to do your InBody soon, and we're going to see some more gains in there. I'm sure we'll see it. We've seen your strength go up a lot since then. So I know that it's going to be good. Let's describe real quick too, how have you felt kind of in the back half of last year after training for a while, after knowing that you kind of accomplished this? How have you felt, looking yourself in the mirror, in clothes? How have you felt in situations?
At first, it felt the same. I mean, obviously it's going to look pretty similar a couple weeks after the first or the first or second InBody.
Yeah.
But after a while, I started to notice changes, and now I think I definitely look a lot different than I did a year ago or, 9 months ago.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're really happy with that. That's good.
Yeah.
So you look a lot different than you did 9 months ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's a good feeling. Let's just say, I want to write look different here because you mentioned that. Okay. So right now, we're looking at your training. It's 3 days a week of training, right? For an hour, and we're doing full body, right? So let's write energy in, energy out over here, and let's go over this. Right? So energy in is what you're consuming, what we're putting in our body. Energy out is what you're doing, right? And so outside of that, are there any other physical activity things that you do?
On a regular basis, no, but on occasion I'll go for a run or ride my bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So generally it's 3 times per week training.
Yeah.
Workout. Okay, good. If our goal was to gain another 5 pounds of muscle, right? Gain muscle, let's just put a number on it just to have that reference, right? We know what 5 pounds was before. Let's look at it now. So if your goal would be to gain 5 pounds, gain 5 more pounds. Okay. How do we have to do that? We can focus on the action steps kind of now of how we need to do that, right? And it's either, there's only 2 parts of the equation that can get us there, right? Energy in and energy out. If it's 3 times a week training, what could you do there that would, on the energy outside, what could you do there that you might think that you could gain more muscle or gain more muscle faster?
I guess I could work out more.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, gosh, I don't know.
So let's go into that. Work out more. So what would that look like? If your goal is purely for muscle and not from a health standpoint, yeah, working out more, it is good for your health. What I'm saying is it's not you're not focusing on like cardio or anything like that it's just like system health, right?
Yeah.
So if it's from a working out standpoint, right, you could go to 5 days a week, could go to 4 days a week, could go to 6 days a week, or even 7 days a week, right?
Yeah.
You could increase the amount that you're working out, the days per week. You could also increase the time you're working out. So you could work out a little bit longer, right? You could make sure you're hitting more sets of things, right? Increasing that volume. When it comes to that, right? So another person, George, right?
Yeah.
He does 4 days per week, right? So your split is full body, right? It's just full body every single time. So, which is really good, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
That's what most of my clients do. But what George likes to do is he likes to go, well, I want to come another day, legs, upper, right? So his is a split. It's not a body part split, which I never would suggest. In general, don't suggest. Getting, upper lower split, that might be a way to add a little more volume load into your week, right? So, and then also one of the other reasons I also like this, if you do 4, 5, or 6 days a week, if you miss a day, not really a big deal. You're hitting, let's say if you were on 4 days a week, that's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Because you already hit that. Or you can change your 3rd day and just do the full body.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So you still get all the volume in, even that you would have gotten in if you miss a day, and you get a little more in most of the weeks. Your body's going to get a much more potent and powerful signal, right, to increase muscle if you are lifting more, right? Lifting more volume, lifting more days per week. That frequency is really a big deal too. It's not just about like you couldn't just go in and say, I'm going to train 2 times a day, only 2 days a week, right? You could kind of see how that would be less of a stimulus to your body to add muscle than if you did, once a day, 4 times a week, right? 4 different days. So that frequency is also a potent thing. So frequency and volume are going to be your friends on the outside of the equation, right? So let's just write that down. Now that you have to do that, let's just write that down. So more volume, frequency. Okay. Before we go to energy in, what would you be willing to do on that?
For energy out?
Yeah. If we had to increase volume and frequency, what would you be willing to do?
Probably work out. I would add an extra day.
Okay.
And then maybe implement that split just in case I miss another day. I can do the full body.
Yeah, there you go.
The 4th day or whatever.
So I did it with a client the other day. They something with work came up, and they're on a 4-day, right? So they're lower upper, and so all we did is I said, okay, let's mix in some lower with your upper today. That way you still hit that frequency number, right? We hit it. That way we hit it enough times per week, and we still get our volume in as much as we can. It kind of gives you options. Now, it's okay if you're not willing to do that. I want to make that clear. It's not necessary, but it's all about connecting the dots of what you're willing to trade for the result, right? So what are you willing to trade to gain muscle or gain 5 pounds? Let's connect the dots there, right?
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm asking you. Does that sound like something that you'd want to do?
I mean, I probably would have been 100% for it had we done this a month ago, but just recently I've gotten a job, which has taken up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Which doesn't give me much time to train.
Okay.
because that's just taking up another 3 days of my week.
I gotcha.
But I mean, I guess on the weekends I could go earlier in the afternoon.
Okay. Now we're working and figuring out. We're switching that mindset. So your mindset's starting to change of like, how can I get through this barrier, right? Because we did kind of did a really good job of checking back with what's your why, right? We connected the dots between what you want to get, right? Confidence, body positivity, community, to the goal, more muscle, right? So the more we connect those dots, the more your mindset starts to change in how I can conquer these barriers, right? It's less the motivation to like wake up early on the weekend and go do it, right? Or wake up before school or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And it's more like, okay, how can I do it? Okay, yeah, I kind of am. Well, I do want to do that, right? It's making that connection of what you really want to do because you made that so clear of what you actually want to accomplish. So we'll come back to that a little bit and see that may not be a change that we want to make. No problem. We'll go back to that in just a little bit. Let's look at the energy inside of the equation. So we've got the energy outside of the equation of what we might want to do. Let's go to the energy inside. One thing that I say is food is information telling your body what to do. The things that you put in are telling your body to do something, right? Okay. And so we've kind of gone over this a little bit before, right? Of your energy calories, right, and your building calories. Building calories is protein, energy are carbs and fat. How much energy does your body need to work out, to recover from working out, and to do all the other stuff that you're going to do in the day, right? That's going to come from the energy side. Protein, right? The building side is how much can you rebuild? How much can you build? How much are you signaling your body to add tissue, not just muscle tissue, although muscle tissue is going to uptake a lot differently than other tissues, right? It's going to have that like spike in muscle protein synthesis, but how much can you build because you actually just have the building blocks ready to go, right? Yeah. So energy inside of the equation, I want to start going through, what is your typical nutrition? What does your typical day look like? Yeah. So when you wake up, when you start eating breakfast, let's go through it. All right. And I'll write while you talk.
Okay. So like on a normal day, I would wake up for school and normally I make like a coffee, which doesn't, add anything, but, and then my dad will whip up like some sort of thing for breakfast. So either like a bagel, sometimes like a breakfast burrito. Okay. And then I'll go to school and eat that on the way to school.
What time is that?
I'll probably eat that at about 7:20.
Okay, 7:20. Nice, specific. Yeah. Very good. I like it. 7:20, coffee, bagel, burrito. Your dad's whipping it up. Yeah. Okay.
And then once I'm at school, I always bring a protein shake to school.
Nice.
And I'll drink that around like 9:30.
Okay.
And that's like a Fairlife protein shake.
Nice.
Like the Costco.
My favorite.
Yeah, my favorite too.
They're tasty.
I'll have like small snacks kind of in between that and lunch. And then for lunch, I'll eat.
What's a small snack in between there?
Like chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for lunch, I'll eat usually a sandwich or leftovers from the night before.
Okay.
Like a turkey sandwich.
What time's lunch? 12?
Yeah, like 12:30.
Sandwich, leftovers. Okay.
And then when I get home from school about 3, if I'm hungry, I'll whip up like eggs or something. But that's not all the time. That's just, every once in a while. Other than that, I'll just eat snacks.
Okay, what's a typical snack?
Nothing in particular, but I guess I could more chips or a yogurt or something. Okay. Probably that's normally what I'd grab.
Okay, and then what time's dinner?
Dinner is about 7, and then that varies a lot. Dad likes to make a whole bunch of different things, but Thursday night we ate bratwursts.
Nice.
And he'll make burgers or he'll make chicken. Okay. And rice.
Okay. And so it sounds like there's a protein with it.
Yeah.
Right? Is there some sort of meat?
Always, yeah.
Is there a vegetable with it usually?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a meat, a vegetable, and it sounds like, with burgers, you got the bun, so it's a carbohydrate. You've got rice, right? You mentioned there. Yeah. Is there typically like a carbohydrate with it, like potatoes, pasta, rice?
Yeah, always rice, potatoes. Okay. Something like that, yeah.
So it's going to be meat, carb, veggie. Okay, excellent. So it sounds like we kind of got our day here, right? 7:20, you wake up, you get a bagel, burrito, something your dad whips up. Really good that your dad cooks, by the way. Like having somebody in the house that is like, that does that and is committed to that really helps you get good nutrition in. So that's excellent. 9:30, you have your protein shake, Fairlife. So that's got about, is it the pro one? Oh, so it's the 30. It's around 30. Yeah. Okay, that's a good tasting, and 30. So that's good. Okay. Then you've got your snack, probably chips, 12:30, a sandwich or leftovers. Okay, and leftovers could be something like that, right? Yeah. Okay. And then maybe you might have whip up some eggs real quick if you feel a little hungry, get a little protein in. I really like how I'm seeing like protein snacks here. Yeah. That's really good. So we'll go back to that, right? And then you've got maybe chips, yogurt, right? And then you have meat, carb, veggie for dinner. So good. we got a great well-rounded dinner here. So how can we signal? So this is kind of where you're at now, right? So when I look at this, I see how can we signal this to be or signal your body to increase muscle building, increase that muscle protein synthesis spike we want to get. Okay. So first of all, best thing I see here is going to be that you have frequency, right? Because you have those snacks, right? So you're getting protein, 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 protein. It's spread throughout the day, right? Having that frequency. Not that we have to have protein all the time, but we want to be able to have that spike and then that dip, right? Telling your body, hey, because we can spike it. Your body's going to respond to it more if nothing is in there, right?
Yeah.
So being able to spike that up and then drop it down is really good. So your frequency is really good. I like the different variety that you're going to have a little bit different variety, right? When it comes to protein, right? Looking at eggs are really good, right? Having meat, having that full amino acid profile, right? Really good, right? So getting actual animal sources of protein, animal products is the best source of protein really for you.
Yeah.
So really good there. So our quality is pretty good. Our variety is pretty good. Timing's pretty good. I would say the biggest area we can focus on for you then is kind of consistency. Okay. So that lunch of sandwich or leftovers, what meat is on that sandwich usually?
Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And turkey's good. Turkey's not bad. Usually what I find when I get a sandwich though is like, I'll put extra meat on it and there's still not enough protein on that sandwich.
Yeah.
It's lower protein, right? Getting that protein to be higher.
Yeah. That's the main thing for me that I think I don't do the best at is eating and like nutrition, and then especially protein, not getting enough protein in. I try to focus on it as much as I can, but sometimes I just don't get enough in a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So getting up to 1 gram a pound per body weight would be probably making sure that you are hitting enough to where your body, this is what your body can use, right? Your theoretical maximum. This is what you need, right? To spike that muscle protein, that's a signal to your body that all your work you're doing in this gym has the building blocks to back it up, right?
Yeah.
And that'll cascade. And you can think about that. Like if you, every day, 7 days in 1 week, you were able to hit enough protein, right? You got your 3 workouts in, you could see how that could cascade into the next week. Maybe you feel your body's feeling a little bit more energetic. You're feeling a little stronger. Right?
Yeah.
See how each week that's kind of exponential almost, right? It's not just going to be like, okay, I got 1% better.
Yeah.
Every week it's going to get 1% better, right? Don't you think? So I think really focusing on that. So getting that protein number up, right? And getting that consistency of really what you're having. I think variety is good to make sure you don't get bored and to make sure you enjoy it a little bit. Yeah. But one thing I kind of found here too is I want to share with you is that we eat for 3 reasons. Have I ever shared this with you? We eat for 3 different reasons.
If you have, I don't remember. I don't think.
There's only 3 reasons that we eat. We eat for sustenance, right? We eat so our body can have energy to do things, to build tissues, to go do stuff, right? That's the main reason we eat. We also eat socially. We only eat with people that we love. Friends, family, right? We invite people over for dinner. We go out to dinner with them. Yeah. So you're eating socially. You eat to celebrate, right? So you have sustenance socially, and then you eat for fun. We enjoy things for fun. One of the things that we can do is if we know that, right, our mind can understand that, and our mindset can kind of switch and be able to conceptualize how we can possibly eat for more sustenance for our goals, right? So it goes back to our why, to our goal, what we're doing, and how we can eat more for sustenance, right? So rather than socially for fun. Like, if you know those things, then you can go into it and make a plan and be able to go into it saying, I'm eating this lunch for sustenance. I'm not eating it for fun. I'm going to eat for fun later. I got that planned out on the weekend. Don't worry, right? Or my dad's going to make a great meal tonight. Maybe you're eating that leftovers. Maybe it is a great meal, right? Yeah. You can kind of change your mindset of like, okay, this meal's for sustenance. This is for sustenance. This is for sustenance, right? And so the way I like to break that up for people too is called 80-20 rule. Have I shared the 80-20 rule before? So 80-20 rule. So it's something I really believe in because I've seen it work so many times with so many different people. And I've seen people fail because they only do 100%, towards their goals, towards sustenance, and they have no eating socially. They're out with friends and they're restricting themselves, or they'll avoid going out with people or having people over and they're restrict, right? They're restricting way too much. Wow. Or they're not going to eat anything that doesn't perfectly fit in their goals. And you see a lot of burnout with it. So it's not sustainable over time. So 80-20 rule is something I share a lot. To make the 80-20 rule effective, you got to plan it, right? So planning it out, like when, what days, what times, what meals are completely for sustenance and what is for fun. Now you get some crossover here, right? Yeah. Because that protein shake, I love that protein shake, right? But for some people's goals, it would probably have too many carbs. It's got a little sugar in it, which isn't bad. Yeah. Especially for your goals. We want to up those. Yeah. But for some people, that would not be the best thing for them. They might have to restrict a little bit more there and go with a protein shake that is a few less carbs or a little less fat or something, right?
Yeah, I had a friend that told me the same thing about those protein shakes. He couldn't drink them because he just gained too much weight after he drank them like every day for a week or whatever. And I don't have a problem drinking them, so.
I wish I had that problem. When I was your age, I remember I've shared my story with you. When I was your age, I wish I had that problem, right? I had to eat so much. I mean, it was ridiculous how much I was eating. But I was actually telling this story to someone the other day. But in doing that, man, just focus on like just eating as much as I possibly could. I was able to accomplish my goals and gain a lot of muscle, right? Gain 20 pounds of muscle. Really, it comes down to that. So for you, going back to consistency, how can we make this more consistent? Well, we can go back to, okay, when am I eating for sustenance? When am I eating for fun and socially, right? So we want to plan that out throughout your week. My challenge to you would be, can you make up a 7-day plan where you got every meal, snack, and everything listed out ahead of time,
Okay.
right? And you go, okay, I'm going to be eating this, this, and this on these times. Okay, this is my 80% and this is my 20%, right? This is the time that I just kind of enjoy and don't worry about it. The other thing I would say might be really good on your energy inside is start to track your food, because then you learn a lot more about what protein is in what, how much protein you're getting, how many carbs you're getting. Once you start to learn more, then your mind starts to change a little bit in making the connection that this is what you do to get what you want. And you start wanting then to do that thing more. As you start to see wins and they stack up, just like the win you got here, just like the win you shared earlier, right? You started working out, or after 16 weeks, you got 5 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
After that, you're like, I look different. I feel different, you know?
Yeah.
You made that connection. You're like, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? Might want to do more of it. The more you know, right, about what you're doing, what you're getting out of that, you know, calorie-wise, the numbers there, right? The more your mind's going to make that connection, the more you're going to want to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So your mindset switches. Let's just recap real quick. So if it was energy outside, we'd go to more volume, more frequency, maybe 4 days a week, maybe a little bit longer, right? Going back here, we want to see, I mean, this is a good diet, good nutrition. Don't get me wrong. Maybe a little bit more consistency here, making that plan of 80-20, right? So when we're eating for sustenance, right? When we're eating for social and enjoyment. Okay. So one other thing I want to share about is in this here. I don't know exactly what's in this burrito. I don't know exactly what carbs are here, right? But it's also getting your carbs up. Having more energy calories to be able to do the workout, to recover from the workout, right? Your body needs not only protein to recover from the workout, right? It needs carbohydrates too.
Yeah.
And fats. But I would say, you know, most people when they bulk, they'll do.
I've seen people bulk. Yeah.
Like, Sam Sulek probably perma bulk.
Yeah. That's basically his motto.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. People bulk, sometimes they just go crazy and they'll just like have anything they want, right? But really, you want to up your carbs and up your protein, like have enough protein and make sure you're getting more and more carbs, right? So your body has more energy to add more tissue, more energy to do things, more energy to recover. So really also getting the carbs up for you. So when I see opportunities on here, do you see any opportunities on here to get more carbohydrates actually?
For sure. I mean, I could probably replace like some meal, like the sandwich, for example. I could probably replace that with something more carbs, more protein.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly I'd do, but maybe like chicken and rice or something.
Okay. So yeah, if you're eating your leftovers and you're getting enough carbs here, right? Let's say make sure you're getting enough. If you're having leftovers here more often, you're going to get more carbs that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you look at, so I like the way you have your protein snacks set up, and then you got snacks here, right? That are chips. Yogurt's going to have some sugar and that's some carbs. We could definitely increase the carbs here. Chips are going to be carbs and fat, but I think you could definitely increase the carbs kind of in your snacking areas. Okay. So you mentioned a great word there, replace. So you could replace, right? We're going to replace that. That's what we're kind of focused on. So there's another thing that I say a lot, and that is the 3 R's. Have I shared the 3 R's with you?
Maybe. Sounds a little bit more familiar.
So we have the 3 R's, right? Reduce, replace, or restrict. Those are the 3 things you can do with any habit, right? In this case, nutrition or exercise. Reduce, replace, restrict, right? So you're replacing there. Restrict means I'm not going to have any of it. If you were trying to lose weight or you need to cut something really bad out of your diet, right? You'd say, people would say, I need to completely restrict that. That's the hardest one, and always the one that I don't suggest until unless they really want to do it. It's the one I caution against the most, because it goes back to the 80-20 rule. It's 100% in one direction. And if you really enjoy that, you're going to fall off the wagon, man. And you're going to go back to it and go back to it even harder, right? Yeah. And then so we did replace and restrict. So reduce is you reduce it, right? You have less of it. For you, I'm not so concerned with less of, right? Because your body fat percentage is great, right? We just want to gain. We want to gain muscle. So more it's like replace or just add, right? Yeah. So we'll think of that. And
we need a 4th R.
Yeah, fourth R, add.
Yeah.
So how can we add carbs to this equation, right? So For you, how do you think you could add carbs? You can still have the chips even.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a suggestion. If you don't like it, no stress.
I could throw more in between the meals, but
Okay.
I think I kind of have it laid out in a way that I eat when I'm hungry.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I could eat when I'm not hungry.
Let me ask you
and
this.
add more carbs in there.
Okay. Eat when you're not hungry.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. Yeah. I was going to say, do you think Sam Sulek is always hungry when he eats?
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. I like Sam Sulek. Who else? I don't know. Superhero cartoon character, Marvel character. I don't even care who it is. Who else is it that would probably just eat even when they're not hungry and just eat everything?
Batman for sure.
Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we got kind of Sam Sulek back there. We got Batman. That's who you got to be. That's who you got to kind of become. And like, I'm just going to destroy this food, right? And so you got to kind of add that in. So looking back here, right? So maybe even some suggestions here for you, just to give you an idea of what would be good, right?
Okay.
To add carbs, right? So bagel, you're going to get some good carbs with that. Burrito, you're probably going to get some decent carbs with tortilla.
Yeah.
But you could double wrap it. Throw a tortilla on there.
I told my dad to throw potatoes in there next time.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you're already thinking. Good
Yeah.
job. So potatoes, great way to add to that, right? And then you could also just have a piece of fruit with that too. Do you like any particular fruits?
I like all the fruits.
All the fruits.
Yeah.
There we go.
They're great.
Bananas are my go-to because they're just so easy. They're like, they already have the wrapper on them.
I ate a
They're
banana
so easy.
today.
There
Yeah.
you go. So I get 2 bananas a day because that's just easier for me to get my fruit in. It's got a wrapper on there. I'm ready to go. If you could throw a banana with breakfast or a banana with that protein shake and chips, right, you can up your carbs.
Okay.
Is there any other fruit you really like or anything that oranges are always good for me? Apples, like.
Yeah, I mean, I like all the fruit, of course, but bananas are definitely my go-to.
Sweet.
Like, I'll eat them a lot of the times before the gym because it's just an energy boost.
There you go.
Yeah.
They feel like they're very quick digesting to me. So I can even if I'm going to do something, I can have one real quick. Or like in the middle of a workout sometimes, I'll be eating a banana.
And you won't feel like all full and bloated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can get some carbohydrate sources and you just feel terrible.
Yeah.
And then, I like them because they're convenient. You're going to take berries with you to class. Like that's going to be walking around with a thing of berries, or like it's hard to peel an orange, in a snack time. Like that's kind of hard. So, making it convenient, make it work. Okay. So we've got some options here, right? Let's just recap real quick and then we'll kind of go through and see what we want to do.
Okay.
Okay. So you got add some frequency, right, to training, replacing the lunch with leftovers, right? Making sure we get enough protein, adding a little bit of carb in, and then adding carb in throughout the day in our breakfast, snacks, things like that, via fruit, other options. How do you feel about those?
I don't know. I learned a lot. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but like, it's what I needed to hear because that was like put me on the right track basically. Okay. Because I never really thought like much about my nutrition. I mean, I knew I probably wasn't I knew I'm at a decent place, but not the best place with it. So knowing all this now, I can add that in and hopefully see even more results.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will. I've seen it enough times to know that starting out with myself, just experimenting with myself, and then taking this and bringing this to clients. I mean, this is what I do. Right? I've seen it enough times to know this will get you results if you make these changes. So really, I think it's about connecting the dots, right? If we actually connect the dots between what we get, what we're feeling, our goal, what we've done, and what you're able to do to get there, right? That helps you conceptualize it, make a plan, make the action steps to get there. It connects you with that emotion so much better, man. So much better. Your wins feel like just championships that you won. You know? And it makes kind of the losses or little failures or bumps or obstacles along the way, makes them sting way, way less. It makes you feel like that's a learning point rather than like messing up, right? Okay, how could I be better? How could I learn to be better? It also changes what you really want to do. It changes your mindset along the way. So really good to do that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to going to a 4th day?
Oh gosh, if I went, I could probably go on Sundays. Okay. That would be a pretty convenient day.
Okay. Gym's open.
Yeah. And then I would just go in like the afternoon probably.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be willing to do it. On a scale of 1 to 10 though, 7 or 8. I'm not opposed to the idea.
7 or 8, not opposed. Okay. 7 or 8 to increase that. Okay. And the way I could help you there, right, is through the training app. I can change your training, right, and put you on upper lower split where you have that 4th day. That's no problem. That's easy to do. So if you start doing that, we can switch you over. Okay.
All right.
How about these changes here with making sure we're getting leftovers instead of a sandwich and adding fruit into 2 or 3 spots there?
I'm definitely 10 out of 10 committed to that.
10 out of 10.
I know what I'm doing now there, so I'm excited to start implementing that for sure.
Start a minute. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. So 10 out of 10 commitment there. That means you're going to do it. How else can I help you?
What else is there more than energy in and energy out?
Well, I mean, how can I hold you accountable?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you can hold me accountable by, I don't know. Gosh, I guess you could, I don't know. How would you hold me accountable?
Well, number one is, are you logging your training in there? Right.
Okay.
If you did this, I'd be like, Cole, it's Sunday, man. What time do you go to the gym? Cole,
yeah, that's
Monday.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Cole, I didn't see you log your stuff. What's going on? Right.
Yeah. That's what I would need probably for sure.
And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this. If I change your training around, I take my time and my expertise to build you a new training program, put that in there, and you don't do it, I'm going to take that away real quick. I'm not going to know what to do. Okay. So remember that.
Okay.
Okay. And then with this one, I can just be like, Cole, how are those fruits going? Cole, you getting those fruits in? Right?
Yeah.
Holding you accountable to what you really want. I think after this, you're also going to help hold yourself more accountable to what you want. And that's what this is really about, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Awesome, man. What other questions do you have for me about this? Anything else stand out to you? Anything we...
Where does sleep come into play?
Sleep's super important, man. Sleep is going to be your best thing that you need for recovery, right? Making sure you're getting enough. It'll also keep you out of injury, right? When they say, so you got all these different things people want to do to like recover from their workout and feel better and get, feel like or mitigate injury, right? They're hurt and they're like, do I need to go to PT or I need to get this foam roll or I need to do this or that? But they're finding the number one thing is sleep.
Okay.
Get enough sleep and nutrition. Sleep is very, very important. And I know that we've had some conversations about that, but making sure you're getting enough, man.
That's probably where I'm lacking the most for sure.
Okay.
I definitely don't get enough sleep.
Okay.
So, and I've been trying to focus on it recently as well. So.
Okay. So trying to focus on it. What does that mean?
Just going to bed an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier, not playing as much video games.
Not playing as much video games. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's an action step there, right?
Yeah.
So from trying to focus on it, trying to go to bed an hour earlier, right? You didn't just try to come to the gym to gain those 5 pounds of muscle. You showed up, you committed, you said, hey, Josh, I need you to train me, right? And then you showed up, right? That was your action step, right? So playing less video games, right? So what'd you do there with that habit? You reduced it.
Yeah, right? Reduce.
So you used an R there.
Yeah.
Right? So that just helps kind of conceptualize it. Like, what are you doing, right? How could you, I would say the next step for you, if you wanted to get better at sleep so that you could recover better, build muscle faster, I think, and mitigate injury, feel better, have more energy, right? Be better in the gym, would be to do the same thing, right? We've already connected that with our why and our goal just now. So now we would go, okay, what's an action step from there, right? We looked at energy out for our muscle. Okay, what's another action step you can do with your sleep?
Other than getting more sleep?
Well, here's what I would say, because it is getting more sleep, right? More consistently, right? Trying to play less video games. How many hours of video games do you play? Is this on the weekends too? Like when?
On the weekends, but like before or after the gym, usually I'll come home, eat dinner, and then play games for like maybe an hour, 2 hours. Yeah. So I reduced that to an hour, or maybe not at all some nights. Just when I'm not feeling it. I definitely notice that I go to bed a lot earlier those nights because I'm not up talking to friends, till 10:30 or whatever.
That screen wakes you up and changes your circadian rhythm to see that light, right? So it sounds like you've already reduced that, right? So what you want to do there is you want to make it a finite number, like, okay, I'm getting 3 hours of video games in the week. How can I'm going to get 0, or I'm going to get 1, or I'm only going to do the weekends, right? How can I reduce that to only the weekend? It's okay if you're not willing to do that, but.
And then it'd be restrict.
Well, yeah, then you'd have no video games, right?
Well, yeah,
be like
unless it was the weekend. So I could restrict it all week.
There you go.
Because that would be important for getting more sleep, for having more energy in the gym.
Yeah.
Because I normally go on weekdays.
And recovering better from the gym, so you can.
Yeah.
And that's one of those exponential things, right? Becomes exponential. If we've shared what you can do, what are you willing to do? I'm willing
just for sleep. I'm willing to restrict, but probably not replace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so you restrict it to, what would you do?
Like, what do you mean exactly?
Well, and so to restrict it, are you saying, are you saying you'd restrict it to only weekends?
Oh, yeah.
Are you saying you'd only have like a few minutes a night, or like
Yeah, I'd probably restrict it to like at most an hour, just to, that way I could still have fun, but I'm not taking it too far where it's going to get in the way of other things.
There you go. So it doesn't get in the way of what you really want.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, because that's what you really want.
Yeah.
Right? I want to walk through some here real quick too. That's kind of cool we went through, right? So we started with trying to focus on it, right? And then it was, I'm trying to play less, right? And now we're to the point of, I know exactly what I'm going to do, right? See how that language is changing?
Yeah.
Our mind is changing, right? Our language is changing. And that's very powerful when it comes to setting goals, figuring out what you want to do by setting the goal and actually accomplishing it. I've helped hundreds of people do this, right? That's usually what I kind of hear starting out, right? It's, well, I'm trying to focus on losing weight. What does that mean? What does trying to focus?
Yeah.
What's losing weight mean, right? And this is how we figure it out. Okay, so the same thing we just did with your sleep, which is really cool to go through here. So committing to exactly what you're going to do with video games to increase your sleep, to do better with building muscle, right? Having more energy. What are you going to do? You're going to play, I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to not play video games in the week, or are you only going to go an hour? What are you going to do?
Yeah, now I need to make up my mind. So, gosh.
It's on the spot. It's an on the spot goal here.
Yeah, it is. I'll restrict it to an hour, and then we'll see how that goes for like a couple weeks. And if I still feel like it's too much, then I'll just restrict it and only play on the weekends.
Okay. So really you're reducing, right? You're reducing the amount of time that you're allotting yourself to play.
Yeah.
Because if it was restricted would be none. Restrict.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes restrict is like, okay, I'm only going to have it on the weekends, right?
And then
so replacing here, adding more here, and then you're going to go with the energy out, and then you're going to reduce video games.
Yeah. For more sleep and more focus on stuff like that.
There you go, man.
Yeah. Now I know everything I need to know, so.
We got it all up here. It's forefront of mind, man. Keep it there. Keep it there. Keep thinking about it as much as you can. All right?
I will.
Good job, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So if you want to see real results from real people, go check out our client testimonials on YouTube. If you're interested in seeing more information about what you can do daily to help you get closer to your goals, follow us on socials. The links are in the description. If you'd like to learn more about the challenge, come to our website at justmovelife.com. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always on to help.